Water. All living things depend on it. Water sustains us and our communities. We manage it to prevent floods, irrigate crops, increase wildlife habitat, and for recreation. Unfortunately, government and environmentalists can push human needs aside, devastating communities depending on that water.
In Northern California, where our ranch is, there is an agenda to remove 4 very important dams on the Klamath River. These are hydroelectric, clean, green energy dams in perfect condition. And should these dams be removed, it will impact our family and our ranch. With the removal of these dams, it will require management and control of over 80% of all water. We have lots of water on our ranch that sustains our ranch, sustains our livestock, sustains our lifestyle. And what the government is doing is trying to take control over these dams, destroy these dams, and it will destroy the life that we live here on the ranch. The reason they want to take out the Klamath River dams, is because they claim, the government and special interest groups claim, that the coho salmon is an endangered species and that it's indigenous, even though we have Department of Fish and Game records saying that the fish is non-native, it doesn't even belong here. But the Klamath River dams will be removed because they say that the coho salmon can't swim up the river like they used to, even though they're coastal stream fish and prefer to be within 30 miles of the ocean. The Klamath River dams are about 185 or more miles upstream on the Klamath River. My family's 5th generation ranching and farming family, and we love this lifestyle. And I see it kind of disappearing for all family farmers and ranchers. And with Klamath Dam removal, the regulations are only going to get harsher, more egregious, and more damaging to places like this. And I see this lifestyle disappearing very quickly.
My name's Grace Bennett. I'm the board chair of the Siskiyou County Board of Supervisors. Going through the process in the last 3 years of being on the Board of Supervisors, I've seen tons and tons of regulations come to the forefront, and some of them don't make any sense at all. With the dams gone, it will impact our area because there won't be enough water in our river. It will not be a matter of when you irrigate or how much you irrigate. It'll be a matter of, can you irrigate? Can you do these things? And if we don't have the dams in to give the water for the fish that return, and they're taking that water from our farmers and ranchers, we won't have any farmers and ranchers.
I'm one of 4 generations living on, in, and with the Klamath that you see here today. We have remained throughout those generations is for the love of the river and the environment that's here. Yet our voices are never heard in any of this onslaught of regulatory process that's now taking place. This whole agenda is insane. The problem is it is destroying the very people that understand, that care about, and that know the environment the most, whose decisions and background and experience are critical to the enhancement and optimizing that environment, all being threatened and damaged and destroyed by the people who have no vested interest and no consequence of the decisions that they make. The studies, so-called studies that they're using to support the continuing agenda and the regulations they're trying to impose are still based on things like, for this segment of the river, a study done for a master's thesis that was an extremely flawed paper done by a single person under the guidance of an instructor who is a primary advocate for dams removals. But the other studies showing that the impacts of the dams are actually beneficial, not detrimental, in reversing the claims that have been made over the past have never been recognized.
From the beginning of this process, we have stated that we would like to have definite scientific analysis of everything. Dr. Hauser that worked for the Department of the Interior came out with exactly what we were talking about, that the science doesn't match the actual things that are happening in our area. We have said many times that the science, the survey that was sent out to all these people throughout the United States had one objective in mind: to take out the dams.
Without a balanced approach to science, where you say, what's the best alternative, what's the best kind of science where we can meet the dual objectives of preserving the environment and preserving the economy, you get a very biased science. It still might be good science, but it's focused on preserving just the environment. And when you do that, you don't get to look at the other alternatives. You don't get to look at a balanced approach, and you don't get to inform decision makers well about how we can do science that can meet multiple objectives. My disclosure that got me fired was really focusing on a very small document. It was a summary of the impact of dam removal on coho salmon, on steelhead, on disease, on this and that. They just took the positive, they took extremely unbelievable numbers and put them in this science summary. And I think those are all smoking guns, where they're not really telling the public the truth about what's in these documents.
We're being deluged from all different directions at this point. From every agency, it seems to be a concerted effort from a handful of special interests and agencies that are converging from different directions. They seem to be following or pursuing an agenda that has originated thousands of miles away, that do not conform and are not compatible with any of the circumstances and the unique characteristics of our environment and our area. Unfortunately, all of their theoretical applications that they're imposing through regulatory process are not only destroying the people involved who have made the conscientious decisions for improvement of the environment they understand, but is also destroying the very environment that they claim that they're protecting. The likelihood is that we may not be able to actually remain by the time all of the regulations come in place.
I'm concerned about people removing dams for the sake of removing dams. There's a lot of reasons to remove dams or to build dams, and unless you have carefully thought out the science behind and the needs for either building a dam or taking out a dam, it's just a reckless policy. If we just take these systems out, we're going to face a situation where we have unsustainable populations. We need water for sustainability, for the economic growth, and so by taking the dams out just for the sake of taking dams out is really a reckless solution.
We're in a fight, and we'll keep fighting. We're the best people to know what we need to do and to take care of things, and it's very important for others to realize that in this whole discussion about dam removal, Agenda 21, having all of these things taken away from us in a very methodical transformation of our country, it's very important for everyone to remember that it doesn't matter where you live, we need to take care of each other, we need to respect each other's lives and lifestyles, but we need their help too in them understanding how their lives are affected by the rural areas of our country.